Welcome back to live coverage of Windmill 2023. We've got some women's action for you. Up next, Spice taking on the Polish national team. Matchup in the women's division. The open division is playing on the other stream, so be sure to catch any of these next games here. Poland working on offense to start. They're out of a horizontal stack and looking to move this laterally first. Disc put into space for Poland. They look very structured. Not a lot of movement downfield though. And that is a mistake on Poland's side that will give the disc to Spice. Drop into the end zone for a first break for Spice. Poland held the disc for quite some time, but in the end, Spice converted quicker and more efficient with that defense. So a break to start, a good start for the British squad. Spice, of course, a young team from the UK. Formed of formerly under 24 players initially. I do believe that happened after 2019. I don't want to say anything wrong, but I do believe that's the story I heard. So some of the players on that team really enjoyed playing together at under 24s in 2019 in Germany and formed that team together, and they have been playing together and adding to their personnel ever since. So thank you for tuning in and watching Windmill live coverage. I'm Christina Obermeyer. I will be joined shortly by Luke Burgess, who just played, so we'll take a second to get ready. So yeah, Poland with a second opportunity to get their first point on the board. Looking to keep their structure. Poland moving it laterally from one side to the other. Good defense from Spice will prevent anything but reset passes for now. Big disc into space. So red zone here around the break point. Oh, and a miscommunication. Stare down. We'll give Spice the disc back. So Luke joining me here. Can you tell me a little bit about Spice's history? I just told everyone they started after under 24s in 2019, the team.
Yeah, something like that. They are a UK-based team. Last season they were based in the Midlands, but they did draw players from all over the country. Lots of young talent from the previous U24 cycle. They have a few new faces this year and a few players that have defected to Iceni. Big gossip, big drama in the UK women's scene there.
So a miscommunication of some sort giving the disc back to Poland in the red zone. Beautiful round shot caught. Now looking for an option, goes back to the handler. Mashalek into the middle. Strongly relying on resets and the handlers are Poland here, but that seems to work out just fine. Mashalek looking for a player, and now up the line into the end zone for the score, and Poland's on the board.
Yeah, nicely done from Poland. Very calm, collected offense to finish off that point. Spice were poaching off the handlers a little bit, which made Poland's life a little bit easier, but they did a good job of shutting down anything coming out of the stack, and eventually Poland did have to rely on that handler movement to get the score. So obviously Poland are preparing for EUC in not that long, honestly. It's
only
like
a month away.
only a month away, and a few Spice players are on the GB women's side that will be going to that tournament. GB women not here this weekend, so Spice at presumably full strength, which is good to see. I haven't really seen Spice play this season, even though they are like a UK team. I'm based in the UK. I go to these tournaments, but excited to see what they can show us in this game.
Yeah, I remember them having a very intense game last year, really coming out of nowhere and then beating a rather good team. I unfortunately don't remember. I just remember streaming them and being really impressed with some, especially the Gibson sisters. We're now off to the races. Working through that Polish zone defense, I believe, and there you go. Quick pop passes, give and goes into the end zone.
Yeah, transition zone from Poland to start out that point, and Spice worked through it very nicely. They had a lot of focus on that last season. Lots of quick disc movement, which works really nicely against zones. I thought it was quite nice that you mentioned the Gibson sisters, as Kate Gibson caught the disc in the middle of that offense. Definitely one to watch. She is on the GB side this year, along with her sister Heather, who I can't see. Probably that's oh no, she is on the line, far side for Spice right now. So good to see them both here. They were putting in.
I believe also has a gym program.
Yeah, Heather's a personal trainer. Yeah, so Spice an athletic side because of that, for sure.
One of the other more well-known male matching player is also doing that program, I believe, playing for Ireland this year on the mixed side. See some Instagram stories that highlight. All
She's
right.
not sponsoring us though, so we're not going to shout out her actual company. Sorry.
No, we're not doing that. Just giving you a bit of information about the person. But Poland on offense. Spice looking at some poaching for themselves. Big disc caught. Nice grab for the Polish side here. Continuation caught just in front of the line. Inside shot now and well caught. Good reaction there. Bobek going around and looking towards the end zone. Now going back to the middle. Some give and goes. And not too great spacing from the handler side, but they get it off. And another point just on that far side cone up the line.
Heather Gibson almost getting the block there for Spice, but it is a hold for Poland. Nicely done working through the defense. Again, not putting anything risky up, just calm, collected, patient offense. which is not necessarily what we want to see at Windmill, but it does get results.
I like a clean play. I would always appreciate like a clean hold over some fancy stuff that potentially, just gets. No, I don't want to be in the negative. I like clean plays. That's all I'm gonna say. But for Poland, I think they have a mixture of troubles and flowers from Wrocław and Warsaw, the biggest frisbee. Oh, and that's a dropped pole on Spice's side. So maybe already thought about her first throw, and that disc touched and goes to ground. So red zone for Poland to get a break back. Lewandowska going up the line, getting it in the middle. And that just put into space, and beautiful continuation for the break. Poland get back into the lead and redeem their first break that they got in the first point play.
Well, big point there for Poland. They couldn't have drawn it up better if they tried. Once again, showing they are more than capable of comfortably converting good field position. Looks like a fresh line for Spice though, so the nerves from the drop pull should not affect this point so much, but let's see.
Yeah, Spice traveling with a rather big squad, so putting a fresh 7 on the line does make a lot of sense in my opinion, especially since we have Swiss draw format and every point counts, right? So 4 games today, you're right, and a miscommunication in the handers that turns it over again, and Poland seem to really have the better momentum at this point. Violation because what?
There was a disc on the pitch from the game on the far pitch.
Someone didn't pull too great. Another strike and going around to the other side, and that's perfectly placed in the back of the end zone. Oh, and they're signaling it out. Unfortunately, we did not have a great look on that, but it seems to be agreed upon. And that's a turnover. You can see our grass pitch here. And Spice walking up the disc to the end zone line. Great cut into the middle. Nice give and go action from Spice. They really moving well with that flow, but that disc one too many.
Yeah, really good block.
And a high floating disc. Good defense by Hanton.
Just stole that one away right under the receiver's nose.
Yeah, that disc high and floaty on that around pass. And an immediate front cone score for Spice.
So what a way to bounce back. Bit of a disastrous start to that point with such an early turnover, but a slight misthrow from Poland. The one time they looked a bit more rushed outside the end zone, they put it a bit wide. And Spice capitalise. Took them 2 attempts to go the full distance, but they did get there. But it's looking like we've got a hot game on our hands.
Yeah, people are slowly grooving in. We've got 15 minutes already played, 60 minutes to go. You can see our clock is going down, which me personally, I prefer. It's one of the biggest it's one of the biggest discussions. But and there's very many different well, there's many different like pros and cons about every one of those. I don't know specifically if you can say one's better or worse. There's just, but I do enjoy. Oh, and there's a turnover again, a miscommunication on the reset. And we'll continue the clock discussion later. Gibson to pick up. Looks for her reset, doesn't find anything. Goes around and gets it right back. And that is a fortunate defense. Lewandowska puts it into play, the Eurostar, who apparently moved to Barcelona? Tenerife, yeah. Yeah. And she also, like, I have a Polish informant next to me. It's doing sets.
Birthday yesterday.
And it was her birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Paulina. She really did have a good week, yeah. Winning gold with Goyota at EBOCC. You can watch that back with ulti.TV on YouTube. Not during this game, after this game, of course. And then coming here to Windmill to play with the Polish national team and having a birthday in between. Perfect. Ooh, that throw low but caught. Oh, and this time around, the defense works out well. Gibson quick to pick up, puts it into space for the score. Well done. Good recognition to get up early.
Yeah, Kate Gibson to Christy Toe. A match, a connection that we saw plenty of last year. Good to see it. Still working for Spice. And Toe with the block as well. Bookends. Very nice. So it looks like Poland's called the timeout. So we'll be right back after this.
Those who do not know their history can never relive it. The skies, the dives, the sideline smiles. Our past is held in photo albums, drinking stories. The present is a gift. And here at ulti.TV, we want to make sure we always appreciate it, capturing the immortal moments of Ultimate from around the world and making sure everyone can enjoy them for free, forever. Because the future belongs to all of us.
All right, we are back live here. Spice taking on the Polish national team, and they are up by 2 right now. Poland just took a timeout. I hope they said something useful. I'm sure Paulina Lewandowska said something very useful. And they are back to go. That shot low, but caught. Really nice, and putting it into space. Lewandowska looks for an option, directing traffic here. And it seems like they're forcing towards the line. Oh, and that disc into the hands of Spice. Gibson with a big shot deep, but he's underneath it, and that's a defense. What a nice run up to get that D. Volcevic with the defense.
This is very impressive defense from Poland. They've got some real grit, chasing every disc.
Yeah, I didn't think they were gonna get there, but nicely done. And Duel with the high release flick and a big grab. Jumping up in the air. Trying to communicate. It's only finding a different person to reset it to. Poland showing that they can give and go just as well as Spice do. Lewandowska with a big around put into space, and that'll work for the score. Lewandowska to Palma, and a hold for Poland, if not a clean one.
Yeah, really good vision to find that option in the end zone for Poland. Spice were working hard on defense, but Poland always seemed to be just one step ahead. And a nice throw to finish it off.
Did you see what kind of defense Spice were playing the first time around? Because it seemed like it was forcing line. They were screaming aside for sure. Like screaming a flick or a backhand. But we're gonna have to watch that closely. A replay here of that beautiful point. So Spice on offense. Fresh line of 7 out there. Neve puts it up big, and did that touch someone's? That seemed to come out at a very weird angle. So Poland with the opportunity to break. Oh, and a close defense by Gibson. That disc run down nicely. Oh, and a good defense. Symington really got her person covered there. Heather Gibson puts it into the middle. And right back to a handler. Really working on that flow again. With that flow, rather. Marina, the last name that is not on our sheet. Leave. Inside to Heather Gibson. She puts it up into the end zone. 2 players underneath it. Caught by Amy Van Schil.
A really nice offense from Spice at that point. They set up beautifully in a hexagon on the sideline. Lots of space in front of the disc, behind the disc. They were shouting rotate from the sideline, which is exactly what you should do. Get players behind the disc, get players in front of the disc, get players laterally on the far side of the field. They flowed really nicely off the sideline, then got a little bit stuck, but nice deep cut to relieve the pressure, and a good throw from Gibson to seal the deal. So Spice looking hot. They are the self-proclaimed hottest team in Ultimate. In the UK at least. I think it was the UK when they said this to me, but maybe they think they're the hottest team in all of Ultimate.
I'm pretty sure there's one or the other women's team or team in general that'll contest that a little bit.
Well, I'm not sure what measure of hotness they're going for. That's the issue. That was unclear.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I can't really say anything against that. If you can set your own perimeters.
They do have chilies on their kit. So if it's the Canty scale or whatever it's called for chili heat.
Okay.
Maybe, I mean, there is a team called Chili here.
I was just going to say we have a contestant about that. There's Australian Chili, who probably are longer standing in Ultimate. Oh, and a near run through Buck. Push player really looking for an option. That is Deed. And the Spice player already off to get the bookends, and they not quite.
Yeah, I don't know what the name for the block and the assist is, but it was that. Really, really strong defensive effort from Spice once again, and beautiful fast conversion.
Do you want to make something up that we will establish to be the new thing? That's bookends, it's epilogues or something.
I feel like there is a word for this, but I don't know what it is. Where's Ravi? Ravi's nerdy enough to know these things.
Probably playing or drinking.
He's playing in the mixed division. He's off this round. We could go track him down. But no, I feel there is a word for it. But I'm not sure continuing the book theme is necessary, because bookends is about closing out each end. But don't know what happens if you almost close it out, like the start of the book and then the epilogue maybe.
Then you get the epilogue. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. Well, we'll think of something by the end of the tournament. Luke will come up with at least 3 options, and you can vote on it. Let's do that. We'll have an Instagram. We'll have an Instagram poll. It's so much better. If you don't follow our Instagram, ulti.TV on Instagram. Go have a look. As we're back with live frisbee. Bit of frustration as the Polish are struggling to start with the set play they have drawn out. Lewanowska to the near side. High grab, collected, and Lewanowska gets it back again. Puts it up into space. High jump, preparing forward, but the defense too close.
It feels a little bit like the Spice defense is just proving a little bit too much for Poland. These last few points, Poland, having started the game so calmly, are now just not able to find those options anymore. Spice really ramping up the pressure on defense, but good save on offense there.
Yeah, we'll see if they can translate it, and commentators curse maybe just a little bit as... Is it just me? Probably, yeah. Yeah, that shot definitely a bit too optimistic, and Dul with a beautiful way to start that game in nearly the middle of the field. Good grab by Mashalek. Working the hander set, and Lewanowska giving and going. She can't be stopped. Mashalek. Over to the other side. Palma. Screaming for no around, and that is caught with just the right amount of edge on the disc to flow into her hands. Now they're looking end zone. Lewandowska's showing she's open, and the marker goes to ground.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. There's some players in my line of sight, but seems to be okay.
So she will be standing up, and the disc will be back with Poland.
Okay.
Yeah, that didn't hit the nose, but the hand. Oh, and Lewandowska really aiming for that, but the shot goes up anyway. And that one perfectly into the end zone for the Spice score.
Oh, Spice do not slow down when they get that disc moving. Just banged it down that far sideline. And Poland were nowhere to be seen. That was extremely impressive fast break offense. But how about that? Getting knocked down on the force or falling over or something. I don't know what happened. And then immediately getting up and getting a point block is that's a big play.
Yeah, that's definitely impressive, especially when you already get hit once. You try not to get hit again by that frisbee. Although hitting the hand is far more comfortable than getting hit in the face and then falling down because of it. So yeah, very well played for Spice. I always love a good quick turnaround. Fast break. Spice are looking to close that half out with a break, but Poland are going to be doing everything and anything they can to prevent them from doing it. That disc caught on the very sidelines. Not a lot of space, but a miscommunication sends the disc to the ground, and good defense from Spice, making sure that disc hits the ground rather unfortunate player. And same thing again happening on the other side as well. And Poland have another red zone opportunity here. Big around shot just in front of the end zone now. Back into the middle. A very open player on this on the open side as well. Not ideal if you're Spice. But Poland work it over the break side rather anyway. Goes low but catches it. Back to the break side again, and not a perfect continuation, but it will work. It's just going to flame them a little bit, but they're surprising.
Yeah, Poland going back to what they were doing so well at the start of this game, just swinging that disc around the end zone, waiting for a 100% option to open up, and then taking it. And just going back to that Spice offensive possession before the turnover. They set up in a hexagon, and then the cut in the middle was extremely difficult to throw to. So I don't know if they've drawn that up as a play, but I'm not a fan. We'll see if they go again. I'd rather see a bit more space being opened up for the thrower, especially when you've got that player in the middle of the hexagon moving. If you float a disc past them, you're kind of asking for the defense to just gobble it up, which is exactly what happened. And then Poland know what they're doing in the red zone.
Yeah, they do. I think it's a lot about spacing. So if you want to have that player in this space getting the disc, the other player has to move out beforehand and like in enough time to open up the space. But I'm not the expert in hex. You are, so I'm not going to trump whatever you said. but they'll have plenty of opportunities to... Oh, nope, they will not. This is Poland getting the disc again. Lewandowska looking for a reset of some sort and gets it as well. And that put into space. Good defense. It seems like the defensive player already expected to be called on, but they're better than that. That was good defense, very tight. Maybe not the ideal throw to take. Spice with a hospital pass that works somehow, and she puts it deep immediately just in front of the end zone. Not quite there yet, but running towards Spice, and that is half. And what a spectacular way to get to half as well.
Yeah, I mean, not the highest percentage way to get off the sideline, but I guess they'll take it. The initial cut was better this time, just clearing up the line, allowing someone else to come in, but the defense was good. They were marked out, and they had to go for that bailout shot. But again, we've seen Spice hit those fast breaks really, really well, and that was kind of a similar situation where they just found themselves with loads of space, a couple of runners, and they convert the score. So time. See you after the break.
We are back live here, second half action. Spice taking on the Polish national team on the women's side. They are currently up 8-5 and also start the second half with offense. What a snag. And they're forcing middle with the Polish as Stewart is looking for an option, but stoppage because of a pick. Stewart with a beautiful inside shot to Gibson. She's looking end zone, going to the other side, and that's perfect.
Well, what a way to open up the second half from Spice. Some spicy options indeed. That inside break to Gibson for the hockey assist was pretty special, and you probably couldn't see it on the stream, but the wind picked up just as that disc was thrown, and then Gibson immediately just sees an option in the end zone and hits it. So there we are. Spice looking to run away with this game. Poland need to come up with something fast if they want to stay in it.
I do think forcing middle, so switching your defense, is a good option. But if you have throwers like Stewart or Gibson who can really attack those break spaces when the marker isn't set 100%, it'll be really, really difficult to maintain the purpose of that forced middle.
Yeah, just quickly while we wait for the pull to come in. The other issue with forced middle is that every time your player that you're marking catches the disc, you have to get to the far side of them to set up the force. Whereas if you're forcing one way, then only half the time that happens.
Mashalek, high disc, caught, and to Lewandowska, and a give and go works out for them very well. And that round shot is just how did she get there? It looked like it was Spice's disc all along, but Mashalek showing why she is one of the most important people on that disc. And ooh, quite a bit of intense contact here. Turning together. Oh, and that reset does not work out for Poland, and Gibson to pick up for Spice and putting that disc into play. More up the line. And that up the line shot into space at the back of the end zone is just too far. Mashalek walking the disc up the sideline. Critical position to be in, especially since the wind is going from the right to the left side of your screen. And that pretty much is a coffin corner there. Duel with a big layout to save possession for Poland. Lewandowska, of course. Oh, and this time around, Gibson gets the better of her on that reset. Not far out in front enough. Enough in front, and that's a quick score for Spice to make it 10-5.
Yeah, Spice running away with this a bit. Some shutdown defense, keeping Poland in their own half. And again, converting that fast break. I have to say, at the very start of this game, it did look like Poland were slightly better, I think, the first few points. But Spice have just stepped up to another gear, and Poland have not matched it. The one thing Poland's done really well is red zone offense. But red zone offense is only good if you get to the red zone. And so far, Spice have been so good at shutting down all of their initial looks, keeping them pinned in their own half.
What I'm really missing from Poland are some deep shots, because I do also think that's the reason they're good in the red zone. They're good in like the shorter spaces. They can work at the first half of the pitch or the last half of the pitch, but they are not quite connecting on that middle space to get there, really. But maybe someone else saw it, maybe on the Polish side, and they're trying to do that now. They're definitely missing the throwing skills of Chlebicka, who's on the mixed team, and also Saczkowska, who probably also plays mixed. So the Polish mixed team, really something to watch out. But in the women's, more of a developmental team that will give more space to young talent, as they are now working it up over there. Lewandowska with a high release flick into the space, floating and floating out of bounds.
Oh, it's so tragic. It was such a good look. There was so much space on that side of the field to throw to. And the high release flick, not a bad option because it stays and floats in the air. Like hammers, particularly in that direction of the wind, would die quite quickly. So putting up a floaty disc makes it a bit easier. See what Spice can do, initiating out of Hex once again.
This time around really finding the open space, but that throw did not have enough spin on it to connect, and that's a red zone opportunity for Poland. Lewandowska up against that break throw, directing traffic, and looks for an option, finds it because of that rotating mark just in front of the end zone. And a quick pop into the end zone. That was that was a very open play over there.
Yeah, once again, Poland convert in the red zone. There's a slightly funny moment thrown to the front of stack. The front of stack is like hilariously free very often, as the player on that front is maybe poaching into one side or not quite paying attention if they're watching the disc moving from side to side. I mean, it's a difficult position to play, but Poland doing well to just punch the disc in the middle of the pitch.
Also, once the first person in the stack moves to either side, the second person becomes very open. And usually if there's two people leaving, the fourth person in that deep end zone stack is normally poached off or is advised to be poached off. And if they recognize it early enough, they can easily just run out towards the disc and it'll be super hard to stop. Gibson picking up the disc, putting it into space, and there's a deep shot. Beautiful hanging disc put into the end zone for the score.
Clean.
Yes. All we gotta say, isolation and then going deep, just like on the drawing board.
Yeah, just throw the disc to the player in the end zone. Like, what's the problem?
Doesn't sound that hard.
Easy game. Yeah, nicely executed pull play. That'll keep Spice's confidence levels up for sure. But Poland have a long way to come back in this one.
Yeah, they do, but it's not only about coming back, it's keeping the distance as small as possible, because it's Swiss draw, obviously. It's super important to get every single goal you can, because all of this will be fed into an algorithm, and that algorithm will determine your standing in the division and also your next opponent. So the closer you get to your opponent in this round, the better your opponent in the next round be, and the better your seeding as well. Mashalek puts it to Lewandowska, and nobody running really. And as the poach goes off, they're looking for a player, and that disc is just dropped. I can't sugarcoat it. It's a pity, because it was pretty perfect and well read as well. Bodies underneath it, only her really with a chance to collect, but in and out of her hands. Spice again with the hex start, but a bit of a miscommunication, and they figure it out. Gibson puts it deep, two players underneath it, nobody with the disc, and putting her hands around it is Bailey, but it's not quite there. Lewandowska and Mashalek. Trusted handlers for this Polish side. Palma, under a lot of contact, cannot quite connect with the disc. Spice is setting back up in that wheel that is Hex. Slice through the middle and right back to Gibson. Give and going. Chang to Moore. And beautiful switch of attack. And it was really important that she caught that disc. Otherwise, it could have been discussion or a turnover. Good reset, losing a few yards, but not too many, and that's fine. And a big put into space, and Bailey looking behind her, whether someone is actually in that space just behind her, but not quite able to connect after that. And two players poaching off, trying to get there, but Palma with the disc, and this time they huck it deep and overshoot slightly, but this was so important to open up the field.
Yeah, it's a big throw, but also slightly downwind, so perhaps that was why it sailed further than the thrower expected.
Bailey getting it back again after a quick give and go. To Gibson. More. Inside shot. Good movement from the Spice offense again. And Gibson puts it up into the end zone. And that's another score for Spice to go up double the points of Poland.
Yeah, Poland is not able to maintain the distance. Spice keep pulling ahead. Really impressive performance from, you know, any club team beating a national team is always like a good feeling, you know. But as we saw earlier in the game, definitely like Poland, they're no joke. They're a strong side. Spice looking really good in the final quarter or so of this game.
Yeah, they really found their groove. And in the beginning, we weren't really sure. You've said it before. Poland looked very clinical, and now Spice really upped their energy and overpowered the Polish national team a little bit. And there you see another showcase of that, running with her, and then in the perfect moment, over running her and getting that D. It's Gibson. Also gets the disc now. Beautiful inside shot. Knocking on the doorstep now. High stall count. And not the greatest spacing this time around from Spice, very static, and a close-up reset space.
Yeah, it's a mixture of crowding the thrower and also not looking backwards enough. But yeah, Poland get the disc on the doorstep. High floaty one. They do maintain possession though.
They're in their end zone now. Gotta go even further back into their own end zone, but now managed to Heather Gibson again. You said it. So same space she was, and this time around gets it into the end zone. Another break. Another one. 13-6 for Spice. It took them 2 possessions, but we won't complain.
Yeah, much better on the second attempt, just punching it straight in. And it looks like a timeout has been called, so Spice just wanted to catch their breath a bit before closing out this game. Yeah, don't go anywhere, we'll be right back.
Those who do not know their history can never relive it. The skies, the dives, the sideline smiles. Our past is held in photo albums, drinking stories. The present is a gift. And here at ulti.TV we want to make sure we always appreciate it, capturing the immortal moments of Ultimate from around the world and making sure everyone can enjoy them for free, forever. Because the future belongs to all of us.
We are a group of Ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ulti.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
fund
our
our
work
work.
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
We are back live after the timeout. We'll see if Polish women have found their energy, as it was a near pole drop, because if it hit her foot first before it hit the ground, it technically is a drop pole. And I didn't have the best perspective, but players are really questioning it on the field. So this has resulted in a turnover. Apparently it did hit her foot first, and then after the foot it hit the ground. Gibson just around their break point. Resetting to more. Moore gets it. Tumbling. And she doesn't look too great. I didn't really see what happened.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ulti.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
So we have sorted out everything, hopefully. I hope more will be fine. Medical staff is going to appear soon, and it seemed like she just landed a bit weirdly on that ankle of hers. And the disc will stay with Spice. So that is a turnover, anyway, in the favor of Poland. They're putting that disc up into space, and it seems like that break did not serve it well to anyone, really. And Spice are back here now. That disc floating high and caught for the score. So Spice are up 14, within one of closing out that game. And I'm pretty sure they want to end it on a break as well. Spice within one of finishing, and Poland will have to get every point they possibly can. Otherwise it will look rather bad for them in the Swiss draw rankings. They look to get at least that hold and maybe even a break. Really beneficial for them. Mashalek putting it to duel. Lewandowska. Close D, but a give and go for Poland, and that disc just caught by the wind and put into the ground. Not opting for the give go this time, and do a Lewandowska with a big defense and deflected and caught just in front of the end zone for Poland. They're looking to get that score here. Mashalek looks for an option. We've already seen how well they're doing in a red zone. And Lewandowska just in front of the end zone, on the line really. Finding Mashalek and now putting it in for the score. 7 points for Poland. Spice still with 14, and now it's their game to lose pretty much.
I mean, it's a tall order to lose this advantage at this stage. They have a upwind offense to start it out, but then as many possessions as they need, really. Like 7. I'm sure they can do it in one of those, but once again, that static hex initiation for Spice just not working out for them. They're doing that like bump cut off the start of the hat position, the player in the middle, and just kind of staring at it. Really, like that turnover happened because of a poach off of the second back. But as soon as that poach happens, just throw to the poach player, you know? Like the spacing should work out in such a way that those throws are like quick enough that poach blocks, you can't really like flash poach and then recover. So definitely something for Spice to work on there.
Yeah, I do think, so in my opinion, it looks like Spice are trying to not fully implement the system, but rather work on the structure, work with the structure of Hex and then going off the flow of it. Because their clear goal is to put it into the middle, to put it to that person, not to see the open person and put it there. They only have one person cutting, and with that cut, it really, like, even asks Pochov to come and help. And I do believe that you could put it to this reset space, but I don't think you're in a better position if you get the disc rather in the middle of the pitch.
No, I mean, obviously the field position is good, but Hex isn't really a field position-based offense. It's a movement-based offense. So as soon as you get the disc moving, as we see here, two Gibson sisters just giving and going with each other, then things should fall into place and motion should happen.
Yeah, I do think if you've learned structure-based offense, it's hard to transition at some point quickly, and you still got to learn. But Spice are doing a very good job now, and putting it into space, into the end zone for the score and the win. Gibson, Heather Gibson, doing really well in this point and getting that goal for Spice, closing it out 15-7. So yeah, quite an interesting game to watch. I hope you enjoyed our coverage, and I also hope that you will come back, as now we will have a short interview for you with Kate Gibson, the captain of the Spice team and one of the most important players for that UK side. So if you want to talk to Kate, hear the talk of Stef Pazzo and Kate Gibson, go to our third stream, the YouTube page stream that is live and giving you drone coverage of all the fields and everything. You will see Stef Pazzo and Kate Gibson have a talk about this last game. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Christina Obermeyer, joined by Luke Burgess, and we'll see you again soon.
ulti.TV